Hi again, welcome to another YouTube video. In this video is just going to be a quick one, just to have a look at my top 10 favourite keyboard shortcuts. Slightly geeky title for a video, I know, but I actually use keyboard shortcuts absolutely loads and loads and loads, as much as possible. Save me having to keep moving from keyboard to mouse and vice versa. Obviously, somebody who has a visual impairment, it's pretty essential to learn a few keyboard shortcuts if you want to be efficient and not struggle to use a computer. So I've just listed a few of my sort of more commonly used ones that I use. So first of all, we have Ctrl+S to save. This one's vital. Now, luckily these days, especially if you use things like Office 365, it does save your work automatically as you go. But just out of sheer habit, I tend to press Ctrl and S anyway. So if I press Ctrl and S now while I'm in a Word document, initially it will take me to the Save As option because I've not saved this file as anything yet. But then after that, if I press Ctrl S, it will just keep saving over top of whatever I've saved it as. So really useful one there. Our next one, Ctrl and N. These aren't in any particular order, by the way. So if I press Ctrl and N on my keyboard, it creates a new document. A bit hard to see that because they both look the same. Let's do that again. So, and that works in Word, it works in loads of different programs. You can press Ctrl and N and it will just create a new window or new document for that particular program. Next one, Alt+F4. Now this is one I do use quite a bit actually. I was using it just now actually, just to close that extra window that I opened up. So it's a bit of a strange one, but once you get used to it, it's really useful. So if I press Ctrl and N now to create a new Word document, I don't want to keep that Word document on. I've not saved anything on it yet. So if I press Alt and F4 on my keyboard, it just closes it. And that's true of pretty much every program on Windows, including on the desktop. If you press Alt and F4, it goes to your shutdown window at the top here. I'm not going to do that at the moment. So really useful on that one. Alt+Tab to skip between open programs. So you might have noticed when I've made some of these videos, I seem to keep flicking from one open program to another. If you hold down Alt on your keyboard and keep pressing the Tab key, it will show you everything that you've got currently open. If I just press it Alt-Tab once, it will literally just go between the last two programs that I've got open. So that one is really useful, particularly if you if you're checking out Facebook or something at work and you just want to skip across to to your work when your boss is walking past. No, but seriously, it is really useful for if you've got lots of programs and you're doing lots of IT stuff and you want to skip between them. So that's Alt and Tab. So press it once to go to the most recently open programs, hold down Alt and keep pressing Tab to go to whichever program you want to go to you've got open. Okay, let's see what our next one is. Ctrl+Tab to skip between tabs in a web browser. Okay, this is another really useful one. So let me just quickly go to a web browser second. And oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Now another shortcut I've not put on there is Ctrl and T that opens up some more windows, and Ctrl and W closes them. But if I press the Ctrl and Tab key, it will skip through every window that I've got open within my web browser. So that's another one that I tend to use a great deal, as well as Ctrl and T, Ctrl and W, to add and take away tabs on there as well. So that's a really useful one. Using the Tab key and the Shift and Tab key to move forwards and backwards through fields. Often when you have to type lots of usernames and passwords and things, rather than have to click on the next box down, you can just press Tab on your keyboard. It's a really, really useful key to use. And if you press Shift and Tab, it will go back to the previous field. So let me quickly demonstrate. So I've just got a Google form up here. If I type something in here, I've already typed in a couple of random things. If I press Tab now, it just tabs me through the different options on the form. It's just probably not the best example, this one, but let's just get rid of that a second. So let's call this form, I don't know, VI. And then if I press Tab, it goes down to my first question, and I can say, what is VI? And then if I press Shift and Tab, it will take me back to the top again. So that works on loads and loads of different programs, particularly on the internet and things. If you like I say, if you having to put usernames and passwords and things in, say if you having to keep going back to the mouse and clicking on the next field all the time, you can just press Tab or Shift and Tab to go back again. So really useful. Okay. Our next one is, don't know if you call this a keyboard shortcut really. So it's cut the end of my text off a little bit there. Control plus the mouse wheel, and sometimes in some programs you can press Control and plus as well. So if I go back to my internet a second, if I hold down Control on my keyboard and use the wheel on my mouse, so I've got a mouse plugged into this particular computer at the minute, I can zoom right in if I scroll the wheel up, and I can zoom right out if I scroll the wheel down. A colleague actually had some problems with her email the other week, and her text was coming really small and she didn't know what she'd done, and she must have accidentally held not the control key on her keyboard and scrolled in and shrunk all her text. So that was easy enough to resolve anyway. Okay. Windows plus M to minimise all open programs. This is another one that's quite useful. So if I press the Windows key on my keyboard and M, it just basically minimises all the different programs I've got open, so I can quickly go back to my desktop. Quite a messy desktop as well. I'll blame the kids. Okay. Control and End. This one I use in Word a lot. I'm sure it will probably work in some other programs as well. So if I go to Word documents, this is great. How are you? I'll just type in a few random sentences for a second. Yo. So if I go to the start of there and press Control and End, it goes right to the end of my document. So if you've got pages and pages and you don't want to have to scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can just press Control and End on your keyboard and it will go straight to the bottom for you. So that's really useful. Control and A is another one I should have mentioned to select everything, but I'm not going to go for absolutely everything. Okay, and this is a really good thing to know how to do. Unfortunately, because of some sort of work networks and school networks, they don't always let you do this, but you can create your own shortcut to launch a program. So for example, if I wanted to, not that I really use Internet Explorer, but if I wanted to create a shortcut to launch Internet Explorer, so I've got the icon here on my desktop. If I right click on that and go to Properties, you'll see here it's got a shortcut. Now if I click on there and press Control or Alt, it doesn't really matter, it automatically puts Control plus Alt in, so I have to do my keyboard shortcuts Control, Alt and something else, so I'll just type an I in there and click on Apply and OK. Now if I type Control, Alt and I, it should launch Internet Explorer, hopefully. Oh, it is doing, it's just been a bit slow, and which is why I don't use Internet Explorer. And it's got Yahoo on there for some strange reason. Right. So yeah, so those are particularly useful keyboard shortcuts. Slightly to my detriment, I use a completely different keyboard layout, and these shortcuts are really designed for QWERTY keyboards, so I have to stretch a little bit more to actually achieve my my shortcut sometimes. So for example, this is the keyboard layout that I use. So all the letters are in the wrong, completely different places to the QWERTY keyboard apart from the A and the M key. So yeah, so the keyboard shortcuts aren't really designed for that keyboard layout, so it's a little bit trickier, but it's still perfectly doable. So yeah, and so I think just the only other thing that I was going to quickly mention is, in Microsoft Word, if you're using that program quite a lot and you want to know what all the different shortcuts are, if you press Alt and F8 on your keyboard, it brings up this macros box, and if you type in list commands, capital L and capital C, and press enter to run, and enter again, it literally pastes all the different keyboard shortcuts for you in Microsoft Word. Now there are a lot of them, probably tons that you wouldn't use. I've not used, tons of these, but yeah, they're all there if you need to use those as well. So yeah, it's just a few useful hints and tips there. If anybody got any further suggestions, I might do some more shortcuts type videos later on possibly, but that's just my sort of top ones for now. So thanks very much for watching. Bye.